Yeah. All right.
Hold on. Is
Hi,
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
how are you?
We are good.
Good.
You have to introduce Steve, Josh.
Yeah, I know it's me. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out who is there and who is not. Do we have everybody?
Yeah, let's start. It's
Okay.
9:01. Thomas will probably not connect because we were on the phone up till 2 a.m. over there. So he's
Oh yeah. All right. No, it's okay. I think let's kick off.
okay.
It's um, it's 9 o'clock, and let me welcome everybody tonight. And we all know that we are contracted for 1 hour, right?
Yes.
So the presenter will present, and after he has presented, we will have each 5 minutes to contribute. And if we have enough time, we'll also pose some questions to the group and try to understand further what the presenter has presented. So, without further ado, let me have the honor to present tonight's presenter, and that's Steve. The book he's presenting is The Law of Selfishness: How to Get Everything You Want in Just 7 Steps. It's written by Lode M. Loyens.
All right.
Steve, the floor is yours.
All right. All right. Uh, Thank you so much. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
We hope you guys, everyone, has a wonderful weekend and a great, beginning of the week. So I'm the one presenting the book tonight, and as just Josh said, the title is "How to Get Everything." How to get everything you want in just 7 steps. And the book has been written by Lord M. Lord M. Lawrence. I'm trying to share my screen. I have a little PowerPoint here, so I'm trying to share quickly. Okay, still sharing. So give me a second. The PowerPoint is just few slides, so it's not gonna be that long. Okay, sure. Can you uh, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Uh, it's really gonna be like I said, it's gonna be a short presentation because most of the information and things that we're going to be discussing about tonight are, you know, things that we have. Sorry,
No, go ahead.
No, we
things
good.
that yeah, things that we have talked about already in the past, um, in some of the books that we've read in the past, and many of them actually. So I really hope by reading this book, you guys didn't feel, kind of boring reading the book because, like I said, a lot of these, the key informations that we're gonna be talking about are things that we have talked about so many times. But honestly, for me, it was just a kind of review or a reminder. And also, just to encourage, to encourage me and everyone to just keep in mind that, if based on the books that we have read, they keep talking about this concept and the things that we can apply in our day-to-day life in order to develop our abilities, become better versions of ourselves, and eventually reach our goals. That means we really have to put or practice those concepts and really consider them and practice them in our day-to-day life. So again, it's gonna be a reminder, but let's just keep in mind and put them in practice, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a good result. So talking quickly about the author, Lloyd is basically a motivational speaker, is another, and is a coach as well. And he focuses on helping individuals unlock their potentials and achieve their dreams. He combines practical strategies with emotional insights to guide readers towards success. Known for his straightforward and orient, action-oriented advice, Lawrence draws from his own experiences and experiences from others to illustrate how anyone can transform their lives by following a structured plan. Now, I'm going to jump into some of the key concepts and key things that the book is talking about. So, again, I'm going to repeat myself one more time. Those concepts are things that we have talked about so many times, so many times. So, one of them is the clarity. And the book is talking about the clarity that is a key to success. So everything that you're trying to do, every single goal that you're trying to reach, you
Steve,
got the
we
first
cannot
step.
hear you well.
The first step. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you clear
Yes.
now.
To achieve anything, any dream, is to clearly define what you really want. And the author emphasizes the importance of creating a specific and vivid vision of your goal. You have to write down your goals and visualize them daily. For example, if you want to own a home, picture the house, picture the location and every detail that makes it special to you. I think the book that we read last time was talking about visualization. We got to visualize things in our subconscious, visualize things in our subconscious mind. And by doing that all the time, over and over, things that we're visualizing down the road become part of our reality, right? So another key concept is the mindset. you have to pay attention to your mindset. The book explains that everything, the success, start in the mind. If you believe that you can do something and you truly believe that you can do it, it become your reality and you will definitely be able to achieve that goal. But not only by thinking, but also by taking actions, right? So you have to replace negative thoughts with empowering beliefs and maintain a positive attitude. Believe that you deserve success and stay focused on solutions instead of problems. For example, if you're struggling financially, instead of focusing on debt, think about ways to generate incomes like maybe learning new skills or starting a side hustle. It's something that I practice a lot and I have experienced it so many times that I know that the mindset is so powerful. Another key informations here is actions and consistency. You don't only have to picture things or have a positive mindset, you also have to take actions. Don't wait too long. If you have an idea, go ahead and jump on what you want to do. Do it step by step, right? You will never reach the end goal directly. So you have to take daily daily actions like a daily steps, little steps, and staying consistent, right? By doing that, for by doing that, by taking little steps every day, you're actually building up something really strong. If you want to, let's say you want to have 10, for example. In order to have 10 mathematically, you I don't want to argue too much because we can discuss about it. But if you want to have 10 or 2, for example, you need 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 all the way to 10. So by taking little actions every day, combined in long term, those little actions will give something stronger and something bigger. So you got to take actions and stay consistent. Don't wait too long. Go ahead and act. If you have an idea, act and stay consistent by taking little actions every day. You definitely gonna face some difficulties, some issue, but you don't have to give up. You have to keep going keep going, keep going. Okay. So that's another key informations. And then another one is the fear and the ability to embrace growth, right? You have to overcome fear and embrace growth. Nothing is impossible. Everything is doable. Like I said the other day when I was watching Trump investigation and stuff, he said something that really marked or touched me when he said the best thing we do in America is basically what seems to be impossible for other countries is what we do the best in this country. So you put in your mind that something is possible. You have to overcome fear. Nothing is impossible. The only impossibility is yourself. If you put in your mind you cannot do anything, you won't be able to do it. So you have to build that ability and that skill, overcoming fear, and just go ahead and do it. If you see something, just embrace, just jump on it and do it. Don't fear anything. Go ahead and do it. By doing, you will learn, you will grow, you will learn how to uh, how to make change, how to make changes, and how to adjust as you go. Before you know, you become a master. And that fear, you will already overcome that fear. And you also have to embrace growth, meaning by doing whatever you're doing, you have to keep in mind that you have to keep learning stuff, keep learning stuff, develop your ability to learn new skills, new stuff, right? That helps a lot to build up your confidence and address a larger audience. So basically, some of the takeaways, like I said, I've already gone through them from this book. It's just going to be few things. Keep in mind that whatever goal you have to write down the goals and be clear about the goal that you're trying to reach, and you have to believe in yourself as well. But not only that, you have to go ahead and act by taking little steps and keep consistency and work on yourself to develop the ability to conquer fear, right? And keep educating yourself. If you put in place all these little things that we're talking about over and over all the time, I'm pretty sure you will be able to break any kind of wall that you may face in your life. You will be able to break those walls down and achieve your goals. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. And that's it. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Steve. Um, that was a good presentation. Just like all the other presentations, it just makes you think. It makes you think indeed. I think at this moment, I will allow the floor. If I think all of us have something to say about this book, and this is the time now. Anybody who is ready can start. There's the timekeeper.
Yeah. Good job, Steve. You finished before the time. So,
Yeah.
I actually finished 30 seconds before.
yeah, I know. Yeah. So, the floor is open.
Well, if nobody's gonna say anything, I think I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the main thing that when I was looking at this book was the fact that this person was also an immigrant, just like us, and he faced a lot of challenges, just like we coming into this country as immigrants. We are always faced with challenges, and it always seems like the whole world is against us. We are not meant to win unless we put up a fight. And but it looks like there is something in all of us, because immigrants always make it nevertheless. They always beat the odds. And sometimes we don't know why and how, but the laws of nature and the divine law are all there. And when we observe them, things start to happen. And this is what we hear from every book that we read. It's based on those basic laws which govern our existence and our progress. So, yeah, I think honestly, I was just motivated by the fact that he is not different from us, and he has traveled the same path that we are traveling, and the same path that others before him have traveled. And I think it's an encouragement for us to just keep on fighting, fighting not to survive, but fighting to be successful, to one day be absolutely successful, because that is what this country does very well too. We have found that immigrants, when they come here, they work hard and they succeed. So we are in that fight, but we must succeed. We are going to succeed. So let me leave the floor to others to contribute as well.
Thank, thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Joshua.
You're welcome.
In quickly.
Oh, we didn't
Josh, thank you.
practice, Josh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
but
Steve.
I'm getting a little bit confused though. Is it because it seems to me that I read a different book. Have I?
Kuze,
Yeah?
I love that eyes.
Uh, uh, I have to thank Steve for his presentation,
Yeah.
and we can see from the beginning to now that there's a lot of improvement. He's trying
Hmm.
to be on time, which is very, very important. And we had to put it on the positive side of this club because we are learning.
Yeah.
So that's great. And I had to acknowledge that I didn't read the book, but I just researched around to get, and also from what Steve shared with us today, I'm glad getting some information. But at the same time, I want to understand something called what is he? Yeah, what he's describing as a selfishness. Can we apply it to 100%? Because from where we come from, Africa, sometimes your mom or your dad might be hungry and leave the food for you to eat. Your mom might find a good business for him, but knowing that you are in the same business, he might leave that business for you to go ahead and do it. Because, but if you had to practice the selfishness at 100%, I don't think whether those things can happen. So at the same time that we want to be selfishness, we had to combine it with empathy and collaboration. Otherwise, the word will be too rough and it will be too transactional. It's my point of view is not that I am totally right, because at the same time I didn't read the book as I said, and in that same demonstration we had to recognize that there are certain people who love to be altruist, meaning that they don't care about themselves. They want everything done from the other point of view, even though that at the end of the day, they, the environment reward them, but at the beginning they don't think about themselves. We might think about Mother Teresa, who didn't play that role, but at the end, everyone veneer her, saying that she's great, she's has Nobel Peace and all this. But I was just saying that we had to balance both. Is what I want to convey here. Thank you a lot, and thank you, Josh, for the intervention and the holding the meeting together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think anybody else can go, but we might have to come back to the question of selfishness, because I think that also was something that I questioned, and I had to go deeper to understand the meaning or his context of selfishness. And maybe it's something that we can all talk about, because it does not seem to be what we understand to be selfish. And we know selfish to be a bad thing. It's a connotation of being evil. And here we are saying that we ought to be selfish, but maybe it's something that as I say, we can reflect on and maybe share different thoughts around it.
Yeah.
So who is going to go next?
Well, hey guys. First of all,
Hello.
I want to applaud Steve for the great presentation. Like Arun say, he has improved a lot, and we have improved a lot since we started this book club as well. But Steve, thank you so much for some of the book. I just want to reflect on the selfishness part. Uh, sometimes you have to be selfish just to take care of yourself. Bon, that's my viewpoint. It not. Sometimes we give, and forget ourselves, right? We have to, from half a viewpoint, you have to stop and ask yourself, okay, I'm giving, but what am I giving to myself? So sometimes you might stop and take some break and recoup, get some energy, and say no. And I think from previous books that we read, uh, we learn that at some sick as some sick some for some sick circumstances we have to say no, right? At that moment it might sound like you are selfish, but it's just to take care of yourself. So that's one of my reflection on the selfishness.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Tata Kolom.
Thank you, Colum. Anyone else wants to come in? Charlie?
Yes, of course. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, I was saying at the beginning that now that everyone slowly shifted back to the selfishness, I was wondering if I read a different book at the beginning, but actually no. And to me, the author, even though he describes how to achieve what you want in life, he centered his analysis and his finding onto that key words. According to him, Napoleon Hill, so many other great, motivators have written books to how to achieve goals in life, but there were one thing very important that they did not mention. Whether they were avoiding reprisal, they are avoiding being, shown by the society, by, emphasizing on that key point, or whether there are other reasons for which they have done that. Please, 1 second, please.
We cannot hear you.
Yeah, so sorry. No, that was just a small parenthesis. Sorry. Yes, I said that the author centered his analysis or his finding onto selfishness. And he said that the selfishness he was talking about is different from being selfish. Okay. And he, to summarize what I have understood from the book, because I read it, I not read, I listened to it. It was pretty short, and I listened to it twice. Got it. Yes, it made me uncomfortable, as Joshua was saying, or Freya Arun as well, where they were both saying, as well as Sata Kolom shortly, that it is not our culture. However, we do have as an immigrant that zeal, that how do hunger for achievement, and we need to learn to be selfish or to take care of ourselves first. Everything has to be step by step. If we want to go far, we need to build ourselves, build wealth, achieve whatever we want to achieve, and then move to the charity stage. But if we start the way we do mostly in our African culture, I always say it and I say it differently. This is the way I love the book. It sounds a little odd, but I love it. And I explain it this way. Like you want to climb a tree. To climb a tree, even though you have baggage, you have two suitcases, a backpack, and so on. The best you could do is to just tie a small rope or string onto each of these luggages, acknowledging their existence, but take care of yourself and climb the tree first. If you want to climb a tree with just one backpack, which is even tied onto you, is already a problem. But just imagine if you have to hold on to a suitcase, then it becomes a trouble. I always say it very simply that, yeah, running a marathon is not easy, but you cannot run it with a backpack, let alone with a suitcase in your hand. You won't finish, period. So if you want to climb a tree, yes, make sure you forget about everything else as much as you can. The most you could do, tie a simple rope onto them and put the rope on you. But climb first until you get to a point of stability, at least on it. You read the branches, you get to a point where you could easily now hold one branch, the other, and then with your legs, foot, and so on, you can move on to other stages before you start carrying things up. But if you pack everything on you right from the start, you will probably all of you will stay at the step at the beginning, or we call the foothill, up to the end. You will never reach. And that is what we do mostly, like African. You won't get anywhere. Calls are coming from all angles. You have a lot of things, yourself, your family first, and so on. And we don't start from anything almost, apart from our only desire and then every decision to move and get to our destination. And if we want to do that, and at the same time, every day, this handling this, helping this one, doing all this, it makes it almost impossible to get to our destination. So that is what in globally, that is what I got from the book. And he kept emphasizing that almost all the, or most of those big achievers, they focus on themselves first and get to a point. If you do that and you stay completely focused, and he made mention to Donald Trump multiple times. If you listen to him, he doesn't care about anything. Nothing matters but himself, period. And then once you achieve, which apparently is not like that for him, with because at 78 and he's not at the level of charity or whatsoever, but he's still at the it's all transactional and it is him and him alone and everything about him. Yes, it shows that when he focuses on himself like that, he focuses America first or whatsoever, it's only here he will get to whatever he wants, and he's ready to fire, to fight, and do anything and does anything that he could to get to his goal. He doesn't care about anyone else but himself. But it doesn't, that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. However, the concept of focusing and putting all the the odds into your onto your side first, I think it is very important for us to, when you set the goal, do anything that you have the step, take the step, and so on, but focus on yourself first and get to certain level before you move to that. And then he mentioned Oprah Winfield, Mark Cuban, and so on. Some of them, that is what they did. And the examples that he put in the book shows that yes, he didn't practice that. He was taking care of other people's business, thinking about others, and so on. It was biting him until he was 58 or so before he realized it, and then he now turned into himself. But luckily, he made a windfall. Got an inherited from his aunt where he wasn't expecting it the least. He used it to pay off his debt and then move into trading, but focusing only on himself, and things have changed drastically. What he could have done from the beginning to have moved to a higher stage before he starts, sharing his into quote wealth with other people. So that is what I took the most. The key things to him, the secret to reaching your material wealth, other thing moral, and so on, spiritual will come next, but the material wealth, you have to practice what is called selfishness. And it doesn't mean to be mean, it doesn't mean to shun other people, it doesn't mean to disrespect and so on, but you show clearly and then firmly that you matters first. You Everything is about you first and anything else next. That will move you very quickly to whatever you want to do. And I think he has a good point.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Charlie.
Thank you guys too.
Yeah.
Your explanation is better for we who didn't read the book, so that's good.
Okay.
Mm.
But
Thank you.
but if if I can add a comment,
Yeah.
I think I mean, it's easy to say than to do, actually.
No, it's the willpower. You know, it's easy to say and it's easy to do if you want to do it.
Thank you.
I
Thank
mean,
you very much.
yes, but I mean, okay. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that based on our education and where we are coming from, our environment, right? Let's say you have a little sister, you have a younger brother, you have, I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe, oh, let's just take that little example. You have a younger sister, you have a little brother, and at least even if you don't have that much, but at least you can make a little bit of money, while you're going to school and you're here in the United States. Whether you like it or not, you want to support them somehow, right? Like, let's say you're not coming from a very stable family, rich family, and so and so. Let's say you had an opportunity, maybe a scholarship, for example, you're coming from a poor family, for example. How do you okay, how do you it that's what I'm saying is easy to say that than to actually implement, because we're coming from that environment where first of all we're poor, and then when you have a little bit, the first thing that you have in your mind is to share with those that are coming from the same family, like you, like the same mother or the same parent, right? That's the first idea. So the book is actually telling us, hey, you got to act differently. But I just wanted to add that comment that it, I mean, we just have to work on that, but it's easy to say than to do sometimes, because you want to do it, but at the same time you know the reality where you're coming from, and it's painful. Sometimes you want to hold, at the same time you're like, ah, at least I can eat. They cannot even eat, so let me send something, or yeah, that's what I wanted to.
Yeah.
Can I chip on that?
Yeah, I want to chip
Okay,
in as
thank you.
well, but
Okay,
I'm
but
happy
Colum,
that many
Colum
people.
first.
Oh, great.
Let us Colum, and then Arun will come after.
Okay.
Yeah, so Steve, you are right. When we come here and we feel like, oh, we are a little better off, we start sending money back home. But I'm telling you, Thomas and I, we used to do that, but at one point we stopped, and nobody died. You know, we said whatever problem is over there, people who are over there can fix it,
Mhm.
and we stopped sending money. It's been years, and they are okay. And from now on, they don't ask for money anymore, because you cannot send enough money to satisfy them,
After
right?
sure.
They will
Yeah.
always ask for it.
Mm.
So if they know that they have to work to solve their own problem, they are not going to ask you any more money. And you have to set that limit. And we did it. Thomas and I, we did it, and it's working. Nobody, they don't even call us for anything unless it's something major, very major. If not, this person have to do communion, this person has to do baptism. We are not into that anymore. So, Steve, you can do it.
I mean, yeah, I mean it's doable, but I mean,
uh, uh, oh, uh,
Steve,
can
let's
I?
hear Aaron. He has something to say about this.
Yeah, uh,
Yeah,
you are right. The fact that you are thinking that way, but let me put it in another perspective. I'm
yeah,
totally with Colomb, but let me put it in another perspective for you so that you can see what we are talking here.
yeah.
Imagine that you are a farmer and you have 3 bags of you farm, you get all, and you have 3 bags,
Hmm.
and 1 bag for your own consumption, one another bag to go and sell, and then a friend of yours or a parent from back home, as you are saying, say, oh, can I have the whole bag, the third one? Are you going to send it? If you send it, it means that you and him will end up be poor and die poor.
Yeah, yeah,
So you had to be selfish at that moment and say, okay, hold, let me plant this one. Well, let me farm this seed, this bag, so that we can have some expectation in the future, any hope in the future for that. And coming back to Cologne about sending money back home, me, that contract I finished with everyone except my mom, probably.
yeah,
Everyone. Because you can never survive.
yeah,
If you come with a project saying that, oh, with this project, we can hope to find something out of it, maybe I can study the project and we'll do it together. Otherwise, you go back to, I don't know if we read that book, a poor, rich dad, poor dad,
Well done.
rich dad, poor dad,
We
which mean
read it.
that, yeah, which mean that consumption is different from investment. Consumption is different from investment, and we have to think about that. Otherwise, we will be ending poor as our community is facing right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah,
I
thank
mean,
you.
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I agree.
Crystal, you want to say something? I'm sure.
Of course, of course, of course. Thank you, everyone. Those are really good questions, and I really appreciate you guys all chipping in. My takeaway from the book is the first is we have to take care of ourselves first. If you cannot do that, then you probably be no help to others. I know it's a very hard concept based on where we're coming from, but Steve and I, we were talking the other time, and we said, people come here and they start working at Walmart, and they make $500, let's say, per week, and they say they send 300 a home. What
Yeah.
are you building? What are you
Mm.
doing? And at the end, many years after, you are no good to yourself because you didn't invest in it. You didn't invest in yourself first, education wise, to be even any helpful to anyone. Not to yourself, and definitely not to your loved ones. Your back is breaking, you're probably sick, and so on and so forth. We have to understand that if we cannot help each ourselves to some point, we may be thinking that we are helping by sending money, but it's a deep flood. It's just not gonna work. And at the end, you're gonna be the enemy of those people,
Yeah.
no matter what. And it's a constant battle. One thing is to help those who wants to help themselves, but don't make it a habit. Don't make it a must. Help those who wants to really help themselves. Don't make it like, oh, I have to send back money back home. I have to do this. We are not helping them, period. And probably we are not helping ourselves. It's true, we have to help our loved ones, but we have to do it in a way that we are not hurting them, because when you're sending money home, they don't even know the value of that money. They have no value for it. And on the contrary, they will be asking continuously, and it brings a lot of issue. And at the end, you are really hurting them, not really helping them. So even our words of advice to them, what we tell them, how we advise them, that can be even more um, beneficial to them than the money that we send home. Um, and the second thing I'm gonna say is I have a big flood of doing what matters right now. I tend to want to do everything at the same time. I don't go by the 80-20 rule thing, and that is a challenge. So that's a great reminder again from the book to really do what matters, to focus on the not only the big picture, but focus on what matters right now to be able to move on. Um, and then surround ourselves with great people, people that can help us achieve our dreams, what we want to do, and help us challenge us to do better for ourselves and for our families. Um, and then take action. You can talk all you want. You can take all the knowledge you want, but if you don't apply it, you don't take that action, it's useless. Because that's really the final step. That's what makes all the difference. So I want to thank everyone, and I want to thank my husband Steve for the presentation. It was a great book, a must reread later on. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I add something to
Yes.
To
say
add?
something to Steve?
Yes.
Steve, For
Yeah.
people who ask money or who, please send them the book. Family Boma Bear, My Mother's Goat.
My mother's goat.
You have to read that book.
Yes, and it's in French as well, so it's going to
Yeah,
be easy for you. If you want a copy, I have a soft copy as well. So
the link is on YouTube. They are on WhatsApp all the time. They can listen to it on YouTube.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
share.
let me say one more again, because Steve, I don't know how long you start your journey outside of your country. When you started, you feel like, oh, you had to help them, oh, you had to. But let me tell you something. Even though that you sell yourself and send the money, if you stop doing that, they will be your enemy.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
big, big yes.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that's totally true. I tried. And don't even try. Help them to survive something. Help them to start a business, but don't feel like, oh, you are doing it, because as soon as you stop it, they will be your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they might even play you, saying that they were in hardship, but it's not true. Because sometimes we are here, you cannot even afford to pay a gym class, but they were doing that, down there. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Trust me, because you don't have time, you don't have the money, you don't have, but they are waiting for you to send the money, and they will go and pay gym class.
Yeah.
And another thing that I want to draw is two more things I want to draw on it is the airplane mode. Airplane. When you are in the airplane, they say, well, help yourself first
Mhm.
before you can help even your child. So if you don't put the mask on, you might pass out and you cannot even help your son or your daughter. So it's better that you accumulate the wealth here and try to be very, very wealthy, and then you can help them the way they want it.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
the last thing that I want to say is the effect of Jamaica and the Indian people in London, because I was in London for 5 years. When the Jamaicans they came there before the Indians, the Jamaicans were there before the Indians. I mean, the proper Indians.
Mhm.
But what happened? They never owned anything in London. Why? Because when they came, they were thinking that they had to return back. So
Yeah.
all the money that they were making, they were sending back home, thinking that, oh, back home will help them to build something, and when they go back, they will survive. But it's not the case, because they end up being in Jamaica, in London, but forgetting to do something.
For
But when
them.
Dada fire back to the Indian and say, you guys are traitors, we don't want you, hold you, and send them to London, those people think that, oh, now London is our house, London is our home. So they don't need to send money to any Ugandan, because they are no more there. Everyone is here now, and they start building. Look at what is happening. They own almost half of the London economy right now,
Wow.
Wow.
because they build it. They build it. They say, okay, let's go start it, building. But what we are doing? Oh, okay, we have only 200. Let me send 175 to 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 our friend. And sometimes you might send 99% of your money, and they will say that is not enough.
Yeah.
So thank you, Law.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think we are coming
Thank you,
close
guys.
to the end. I will just
Mhm.
say a few words. I think also for me, because I didn't chip in on the selfishness, it's all about setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all about knowing what our purpose is and not being reckless with it. Because if we lose our sight on that goal, now we are putting our own goal and our own purpose at risk and jeopardy. And we should not do it for ourselves, we should not do it for others, because every person on this world has a purpose, and it is their responsibility to make sure that they achieve the purpose that they are here for. And nobody is going to chase your dream for you.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah,
Yourself.
so you do need to set those boundaries, because if you don't, then I think Aaron has said it very well. You'll be like those Jamaicans in London.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
want to do that.
So we are left with 4 minutes. I don't know if anybody has anything.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize. I wanted to ask Steve the when he read this book by mistake before, and he used the expression, the book is dangerous. So when I was reading it, I said, okay, this is the reason why this guy was saying that. It was making me uncomfortable that I was moving forward, but I ended up saying that, but this is the reality. This is what we have to do. And Arun said it well. Anyone who moves somewhere and know that he has no back, he knows that he has no home somewhere, and this is where home is, they do better.
Mhm.
Those who think they have to go back remain poor.
Hmm.
Okay? The Lebanese have conquered almost the whole world and they have no country. Yes, because when they were out of their country, the civil wars took and then held for very long. Wherever they were settling, they were doing their settlement, they knew that this is home, period. And they ended up owning almost everything wherever they were going. They are almost in power everywhere in the world. The same applied to the Jews. And that's the clear example of the Indian. In Canada, they own it almost all.
Mhm.
And everybody could see Indian came to the power in England. Okay, the recent prime minister before this new one was with Indian
India.
heritage. Yeah,
Mhm.
and you won't go to Benin and go and see any Chinese sitting in Benin investing in China. No, they are buying everything
In Benin.
in
Yeah.
Benin. And even the Beninois now, I heard people say, "Oh, you want to sell your house or you want to sell your terrain? Only the Chinese can pay." And they prefer they prefer a Chinese customer to a Benin brother, because when they say $10,000, for example, I'm just quoting, yeah, a Chinese will pay, and they are crying, saying everything, but the Chinese are owning the market, everything, the boutiques, almost all they have it. The same apply to the Lebanese and so on. And we are here. You won't see an American going to Africa or somewhere and sit there and start investing in America. It doesn't make any sense. You want to invest in America, you stay in America. And you want to invest in Benin, you stay in Benin.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
it's not the case. So those who do not have any boat sitting somewhere to, run back home, they do well wherever they are. But those who maintain the link, they kept it, staying there. But you want to climb a tree, if you want to be one day on that tree with the suitcase, then leave the suitcase down. Else you both will remain down at the foot of that tree for your life.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
true.
obvious. It's the law of physics. You can't go together. You just have to leave it for a while. Promise, keep the link if you really want to bring it up there. But you take it with you, you won't go. You both will just stay down. We have to learn it. It is not our culture, and it keeps us poor. And the colonizers that we are fighting to get independence, when they came, they made it their country and they took it, and we are in America. The European didn't come here and they want to go and build England or build France or Italy or Spain. They took it and killed the people who are here before they could stay. And we are here, we leave it and then continue feeding home. It doesn't make sense. We choose to be poor for life and keep the generation to come poor. That's the meaning. You go somewhere, that is your home, you make it home and you win it there, period. If not, if home is the home, then go home and do it over there.
All right. Thank you so
Okay.
much, guys. It's 1 past 10. At this point, I really need to say thank you to Steve for putting together that presentation that has caused so much riot tonight.
A good
It
riot.
was a
Yeah.
good.
A good riot.
But
It was a
I'm glad that the discussion was lively and
Yeah.
everybody has got something out of it, I'm sure.